जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग श्री राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस तत्तरस शिला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस तत्तरस शिला भक्ति दैत माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिष्टोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस तत्तरस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंस शिल गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय शिला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्री वासुदेव गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय श्रील श्यामानंद प्रभु तिरुवाप तिथि पूजा महामहोत्सव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्रीयुता पादकमलं श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च जयानिलो प्रेमधन करुणा प्राचुर हेन प्रभु কথা গেলা আচার্য ঠাকুর কাহা মোর স্বরূপ রূপ কাহা সনাতন কাহা দাস रघुनाथ पतित पावन काहा मोर भाता जुग काहा कबिराज एक काले কথা গেলা গৌরনাথারাজ পাশানে কুতিব মাথা অনলে শিব গৌরাঙ্গ নেরনিধি কথা গেলে পাব সে সব সঙ্গীর সঙ্গে যে কইল বিলাস সে সঙ্গানা পাইয়া কান্দে নারোত্তম দাস যে আনিল প্রেমাধানা করুণা প্রাচুর হেন প্রভু কথা গেলা শ্যামানন্দ ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে হরি বল Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Today is very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Shyamananda Prabhu. Our Gurudev wrote his biography in the book of Chaitanya's Associates. Shri Shyamananda Prabhu. Shri Shyamananda Prabhu was a servant of Subal in Krishna Lila. He was the disciple of Hriday Ananda or Hriday Chaitanya, a disciple of Gauridas Pandit, who is Subal in Krishna Lila. Yam loka bhuvi kirtayanti Hridayanandasya shishyam priyam sakye Shri Subalayam bhagavataha preshtanu shishyam tatha sashriman rasikendra mastaka manishchite mamaharnisham Shri Radha priya narma marmasu ruchim sampadayan basatam. Shri Shyamananda was known in this world as Hriday Ananda's dear disciple. He was a follower of Subal Saka and he became the grand disciple of Lord's dear associate. May he, the crash jewel of the connoisseurs of divine love, appear day and night in my mind, bringing me a fondness for the service of Sri Sri Radha Madhava's confidential joyous pastimes. This is from Shyamananda Shataka. One verse. Subal Saka. There are different kinds of Sakas, means cowherd friends of Krishna. And like gopis, there are so many varieties. Like that, cowherd boys also. So you will find in Ujjwal Nilamani, that is the book about Madhurya Rasa of Rupa Goswami, where he explains different types of gopis. You will find also in Jaiva Dharma in the last portion. There he mentions that there are some cowherd boys called Priyanarma Sakas who are also participating in the Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, Radha Madhavas. So, like Manjaris, they are serving Radharani from Radharani's side. Like that, those Priyanarma Sakas, they are serving Krishna in his Madhurya pastimes from his side. They are dressing him, they are sending messages, they are with the gopis, they are arranging meeting, and that is why in Radhakunda also you will find there are 8 ghats around Radhakunda for 8 Sakis. But also around Shyamakunda there are kunjas of these Priyanarma Sakas. So Subal is the topmost among them. His prema is the highest. He is the leader. Like Rupa Manjari is the leader of Manjaris, Subal is the leader of Priyanarma Saka. So Gauridas Pandit in his Subal Saka in Gaur Lila, his disciple is Hriday Chaitanya and his disciple is Shyamananda Prabhu. That is why here, bringing me a fondness for the service of Shri Radha Madhava's confidential joyous past. Someone may ask, if he is in Sakya Bhav, then why here it is written Radha Madhava? Though, as we will see later, Shyamananda Prabhu took Manjari Bhav after. But Gauridas Pandit is Subal in Sakha, but he is also participating in Radha Madhava's confidential pastimes from Krishna's side. Shyamananda Prabhu was born on the full moon day of Chaitra in 1535 in the town of Darenda Bahadurpur, which is near the Kharagpur railway station in Midnapur. His father was Shri Krishna Mandal and his mother Durika. Krishna Mandal's hometown was Dandeshwar, which lies on the banks of the Subarna Reka river. The following statement is found in the Gauriya Vaishnava Abhidhan. Wait, I will put on fan. One second. Shri Krishna Mandal used to live in a place called Ambua near Dandeshwar. He formerly lived in Gaura, that is the part of Bengal which lies on the banks of the Bhagirathi river, means Ganga. Actually, Gaura means Bengal. From this comes Gaura Desh and Gauriya Mat, and only later moved to Dandeshwar just across the present-day border in Orissa. Shyamananda Prabhu Shripas, that is homes in the towns of Darendra, Bahadurpur, Raini or Rohini, Gopiballapur, Nrishingapur are very dear to his disciples. Shyamananda Prabhu was born in the Sadgopa subcaste, which fits in the category of Jala Chala, that is to say, Brahmanas who are permitted to only take water touched by its members. Very strict, cannot associate with anyone. Of course, a Vaishnava is beyond the material qualities and may take birth in a family of any race or caste. Anyone who thinks badly of Vaishnavas or judges them on the basis of their race or caste is destined for hell. From Padma Puran, this verse is there. Arche Vishnu Shiladi Gurushu Naramatir Vaishnave Jati Budir Vishnur va Vaishnavanam Kalimala Matane Pada Tirtem Bu Budih Shri Vishnu Namni Mantre Sakala Kalusha He Shabda Samanya Budir Vishnu Sarvesharesha Tat Itara Samadhir Yasya va Naraki Saha. Anyone who considers the deity to be nothing but stone, the Guru to be an ordinary human being, or the Vaishnava to be a member of a particular caste or race, who takes the holy water which has washed Vishnu or the Vaishnava's feet and can destroy all the sins of the age of Kali to be ordinary water, who thinks that the name or mantra of Vishnu, which destroys all evils, is the same as any other sound, or who takes Vishnu to be equal to anything other than him, has a hellish nature. Means he will have to suffer this material existence, because he could not realize that deity is not a stone. It is Krishna himself. Guru is not ordinary human being. He is a realized soul. Vaishnava does not belong. You cannot say he is Italian Vaishnava, Muslim Vaishnava, Jewish Vaishnava, Indian Vaishnava, Brahmin Vaishnava, Grihastha. All this you cannot say. Vaishnava is Vaishnava. there is no material limitation on him. They're all devotees. Their Atma is devoted to Paramatma, to Krishna, so everything is pure about them. And also you have to know that Charanamrita of Vishnu, that water which washed Vishnu's feet or Vaishnava's feet, that is not ordinary water. And Harinam and the mantra of Vishnu, they're not ordinary sounds, they're transcendental sound, non-different from Krishna. But as I told, even someone may chant, but he became ghost. Like here it is written, which destroys all evils. Then they asked Bhaktivinoda how this is possible, that Mahant, one who was there, he was serving Diti in Kulingram. He was wearing tulsi and mala and chanting. How is it that he became ghost? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, because he committed offense to the name. Name is always pure. They ask how it is possible. Bhaktivinoda, name is always pure. But our approach to the name may not be pure. Abhideya, that is not pure. So he was committing sinful activities on the strength of the name. I will do sins, and then I will chant Harinam and I will nullify. This is one kind of offense to Harinam. To think like that, intentionally. To do sins and then, anyway, I will chant after and okay. So he got that. But he was rescued by pure chanting of Harinam. And also one person came to Prabhupada. I forgot how it was the topic. But Prabhupada explained to him same thing. That yes, there is difference between Nama Parata and pure name. And he told same point. Then that person asked, he said, but how offenses can touch the name if it is pure? How it is possible? It's not different from Krishna, so how the offenses can touch him, can become contaminated? Prabhupada said, name is never contaminated, but our approach may be contaminated. Then he was surprised, said, my guru never told me about offenses to the name. One family, Sampradaya, Kula Sampradaya, they are also not telling, I myself experienced, they are not telling about sinful activities, like these 4 regulative principles, they will not tell. And they will not tell about offenses like this. Only they want you to take mantra so that you become disciple and they can get money and other things. But that is not service of Krishna. So that is why Prabhupada was very strict about this. He was insisting that you have to give up sinful activities, you have to give up offenses to the name, you have to serve Krishna. Then you are eligible to take Harinam. Otherwise it will be offensive for Guru and for disciples. So this we should not think. And Vishnu to be equal to anything other than him has a hellish name. Brahma, Shiva, all are subordinate to Vishnu. All devatas, all. One who takes birth in a low-class family is not disqualified from performing devotional service. Nor is one who is born in a pure, high-class Brahminical family automatically qualified for such service. Whoever engages in the worship of the Lord is a great person. One who does not worship is rejected. There is no consideration of caste or creed in Krishna bhajan. Haridas Thakur is example. He was born low caste, outside of Varnashram, but he became pure devotee. And he became guru also, Namacharya, and he initiated that prostitute and also Mayadevi. Harinam initiation. He did not accept Diksha mantra, only Harinam. But Harinam is enough for getting Prem. You will find in Bhakti Sandarbha Jiva Goswami, by Harinam you can get Prem. But because we, people of Kali Yuga, we have distracted mind and impure character and all these things. So in order to curb those, to rectify those things, the gurus, they also give this deity worship so that you can purify that and get that surrender. So this Diksha mantra is also given, but depends on Guru whether he will give or not. But otherwise Harinam is enough. But Harinam you should cultivate. There is no need of initiation into Harinam, but you have to cultivate under the guidance of pure devotees, so that your approach, your attitude towards Harinam will be Sevan Mukata, with service attitude. Then you can get Prem. Name Bhaktas Chaturvedi Mad Bhaktas Swapachah Priyaha Tasmai Deyam Tato Grajyam Sacha Puja Jata Hyaham. Simply being a knower of the four Vedas does not make someone my devotee. An outcast who is my devotee is dear to me. One should exchange gifts and food, etc. with such a devotee, for he is verily as worshipable as I am. By his surrender, that devotee, even though born in bad family, but by becoming devoted to Krishna, he also becomes transcendental, non-different from Krishna. Of course, as his servant becomes transcendental, and he is worshipable as him, as paraphernalia of Krishna. Shyamananda's parents had lost several children in childbirth, and they vowed to surrender their next child to Vishnu if it survived. Having suffered so much grief in the loss of their previous children, they first named Shyamananda as Dukhi, or unhappy, to ward off further distress, like Nimai, name. Nim is that tree which, if you have, that will remove evil spirits, ghosts, like this. So they give such names. So Dukhi also, like unhappy, so he will not attract more those things. Shyamananda's parents, Durika and Sri Krishna Mandal, made their home in Dandeshwar. His father was the best of the Sadgopa caste, of impeccable character. Krishna was everything to him, and Krishna's devotees very dear. We cannot describe the virtues of his parents for fear of increasing the volume of this book. They had previously lived in Darendra Bahadurpur, and people say that Shyamananda was born there. Though his brothers and sisters had all died in childbirth, nothing could stop him. Even so, his parents brought him up in sadness, and they called him Dukhi. This is from Bhakti Ratnakar. Shyamananda Prabhu's parents performed the appropriate rituals when their time came, such as the first eating of solid food, that is Anna Prashan, and the cutting of hair. There are 10 sanskaras in life. These are for children. Then comes also Diksha and marriage. As he grew older, he studied Sanskrit grammar, etc. His parents were overjoyed to see his talents and his religious proclivity. Shyamananda Prabhu listened attentively to devotees when they spoke of Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu's glories, and would repeat them to others constantly. Whenever he listened to the activities of Gaur Nitai or Radha and Krishna, tears would flow in torrents from his eyes. Dukhi served his parents devotedly, and they told him to get initiated so that he could fully commit himself to the service of the Lord. Dukhi agreed and told them that he wished to take Diksha from Hriday Chaitanya in Ambika Kalna. Going there would also give him the chance to see the Ganges and bath in, here it is written it because in English it is, but it is actually bath in her. His parents happily gave him permission to go. When Dukhi arrived in Ambika Kalna, he threw himself at the feet of Hriday Chaitanya, who, upon becoming acquainted with him, happily gave him Krishna mantra. He gave Dukhi the Vaishnava name Krishna Das, and so he was known from then on as Dukhi Krishna Das. There it is written in Bhakti Sandarbha, there is no need for getting initiation for Harinam, even not for these mantras, Diksha mantras. But because we are not having proper attitude, proper surrender. So the Acharyas, Narad Goswami and other rishis, they prescribe this initiation ritual so that you will get it from Guru and you will learn the process of Abhideya properly, how to cultivate them. So he got Krishna mantra. There are two Krishna mantras. One is 10 syllable, one is 18 syllable. And also your name will be changed, everything. That is all for the sake of making you servant of Krishna, so you will serve. Then he gave Dukhi the name Vaishnava name Krishna Das, and so he was known from then as Dukhi Krishna Das. Hriday Chaitanya ordered him to go to Vrindavan and take up a life of intense bhajan. Though Dukhi Krishna Das did not like being separated from his Gurudev, following his order he set off for Braja, first visiting Navadip and other places in Gauramandal, where he sought the blessings of the Vaishnavas. After spending much time on pilgrimage, he finally arrived in Vrindavan, where he became completely absorbed in the worship of Sri Radha Shyamsundar. In Vrindavan, Dukhi Krishna Das studied the Vaishnava scriptures under Sri Jiva Goswami, who was the leading scholar of the Sampradaya. When Hriday Chaitanya heard of the enthusiasm with which Dukhi Krishna Das was leading the devotional life in Braja, he wrote a letter to Jiva Goswami in which he said that Jiva Goswami should accept Dukhi Krishna Das as his own disciple, as Shiksha disciple, not reinitiation, Shiksha. Just as he gave titles to his other prominent students, the Acharya title to Srinivas and Thakur title to Narottam, Jiva Goswami gave the name Shyamananda to Dukhi Krishna Das. The reasoning behind this name was that he brought great joy to Sri Radha Shyamsundar. Also he told to Dukhi Krishna Das, you study under Jiva Goswami, so like a Shiksha connection was there. But as we will see, something else happened. He brought great joy to Shyama Sundar, and hence he was given the new name Shyamananda in Vrindavan. Seeing his sincere endeavor in devotion, Sri Jiva Goswami taught him devotional scriptures. This is from Bhakti Ratnakar. Jiva Goswami sent Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur and Shyamananda Prabhu back to Bengal with the Vaishnava scriptures written by the Goswamis in 1504, or that is Shaka era, Bengali era, That is our time, 1582 or 3. The idea was to spread the teachings found in these books throughout Bengal and Orissa. We have already related the events that took place where Bir Khambir had these books stolen. Narottam Thakur went to northern Bengal and Shyamananda Prabhu went to Orissa. The Midnapur district was previously under the rule of the Orissan king. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that just before reaching Prema, you will find two kinds of devotees. Some are Bhajananandi or Viviktanandi, some are Goshtanandi. Bhajananandi, they will stay in Dham and they will do bhajan in a regulated manner, that Raganuga with Smaran and everything, whole day they will do bhajan. They will not preach like Lokanath Goswami, he was like that. But some are ordered to preach, to increase the devotees of Supreme Lord in this world. Example is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First order was to Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas. But later Haridas again was preaching for some time, but then he retired from his preaching and again he was in bhajan in Puri. But Nityananda Prabhu was preaching, and 6 Goswamis also, they were ordered to preach, but they were mostly like by writing books and establishing temples like this, not traveling around. But Nityananda Prabhu was traveling everywhere. And these 3, they were also ordered to preach. So this is also bhajan. It is not that only staying in Dham and doing bhajan is bhajan. Preaching also is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he ordered, and Jiva Goswami also ordered here. He was first teaching them all the scriptures, then he sent back. Lokanath also sent Narottam Thakur. So they all went and they established temples in different places to give scope of service to Jivas. And they were traveling, they were holding programs, distributing books, teaching books, preaching Harinam Sankirtan. Like we heard that Ganga Mata Goswamini, she was also ordered to preach. They were ordered to preach. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, he was ordered to preach. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also was preaching. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was Bhajananandi, but he fully supported what Bhaktivinoda Thakur was doing. Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj also, he was Bhajananandi. But he told, one devotee came to Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj for darshan, and he said, now I will also go to meet Bimala Prasad, Saraswati Thakur. Then Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj told him, oh, you will visit my Prabhu, you tell him he should give up all other activities and only preach the Satsandarbhas. Means that philosophy given by Jiva Goswami in Satsandarbha, that is high class of Siddhanta, all scriptural evidence, everything. So he ordered him, you have to preach, Bhaktivinoda Thakur told. So there are some who are not appreciating, but that is their misfortune. They don't know that is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They think only bhajan is to sit down and do chanting and smaran. That is maybe for some who get such service, but not for all. So they had to go there, and they went to different places. They were studying together at the lotus feet of Jiva Goswami, schoolmates. But after they were not together, they each got their own place to preach. Like, similar, after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left, then all his disciples, they are god brothers. Before they were staying in under one roof. But later, because they got that service, then they spread in different places. And sometimes they were lamenting that we could not stay together. Before we were together, but now by providence we are separated. But whenever they met, they were very happy, because they got that service from Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu to preach in different places. Even though Shyamananda Prabhu was Srila Chaitanya's initiated disciple, his guru had entrusted him to take care of Jiva Goswami Prabhu as Shiksha disciple. Through the association of Jiva Goswami and service to him, Shyamananda Prabhu developed a taste for serving Radha and Krishna in the conjugal mood. Hriday Chaitanya Prabhu himself was a disciple of Gauridas Pandit, who was one of the 12 Gopals, Subal Saka. He thus worshipped Gaur Nitai in the mood of friendship. Those who think that Shyamananda Prabhu committed an offense to his initiating spiritual master by abandoning his mood and by serving Krishna in a different mood are wrong. The mood of friendship is contained within the conjugal mood. If a disciple makes further progress in spiritual life, it enhances the reputation of his teacher. There was no any extra initiation or reinitiation. Only by association and by Shiksha and by Bhajan Shiksha, he got that taste, because that was his natural taste. Some, they give much importance on Diksha mantras. That there is there, your relationship is there inside and all this. But that is not correct. If you read in Bhakti Sandarbha, you will find Shravan Bhakti, Jiva Goswami is explaining, then Kirtan Bhakti, Smaran Bhakti, then Archan Bhakti. So in relation to Archan Bhakti, there is this Diksha mantras and relationship and all this. But they are giving more importance on that point, that there is Sambandh, that form of Krishna is in that mantra, and your special relationship with Krishna is there. That is true as a servant. But that does not mean that in Shravan, when you hear Harikatha or in chanting the name, there is no form of Krishna there and there is no your Sambandha there inside. That is not the case. So they also give much importance on Diksha, not on other things. They said after Diksha, then if you do other things, then it will be okay. But it is not like that. And also they give reinitiations, like for getting another relationship, they give reinitiations, but that is not correct. Here we see he got Diksha mantra from Hriday Chaitanya, and there was no reinitiation by Jiva Goswami, but by his association of Bhajan Shiksha he got that. By hearing and by serving and associating and by getting instruction, he got that taste, his natural taste. The point is, what Goswamis wrote, our Gurudev repeatedly told. You cannot understand what Goswamis wrote without surrender. That is why so many Apasampradayas came. They said we are preaching and practicing Mahaprabhu's teaching, but they did not understand. Though all the books were there, but they could not understand proper meaning. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Prabhupada, they had to come to explain based on proper meaning from realization what is meant. So there are many practices going on. They are not fully in accordance with the books of the Goswamis, what they meant. So there are also some wrong practices going on. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur clearly showed, and Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, Harinam is not different from Krishna. And that is for Archan, this is Shravan, Kirtan, all they clearly they gave proper process. So in Madhurja Rasa, all other rasas also are there included. Like in earth element, all other elements are also included. So he was serving in friendship rasa, but now by Jiva Goswami he got superior rasa, so there is nothing wrong with that. Guru is happy with that. An extraordinary incident which took place in Vrindavan prior to his being ordered by Jiva Goswami to return to Orissa demonstrates how dear Shyamananda Prabhu was to Radharani. One day, Shyamananda Prabhu was sweeping the Rasa Mandal in Vrindavan, absorbed in an ecstatic trance. Suddenly, by Radharani's transcendental mercy, he found her ankle bracelet, Nupur, lying on the ground. In his excitement, he touched the ankle bracelet to his forehead, where it left a mark, which is preserved to this day as the tilak marking of the disciple descendants of Shyamananda Prabhu. It is known as Nupur Tilak. Our Srila Bhaktivinoda Kakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, he explained this lila in some detail, that near there, I think in between Javat and Nandagram, they are near Ter Kadamba or somewhere, a long time ago. So he found this Nupur, and he touched. Then Lalita Sakhi was there, and she asked him, "Did you see any Nupur here? My Sakhi lost that. I am searching, but I could not find." Then he said, "Yes, I found it." Then he gave back for Radharani. But before that he touched, because he knew it is Radharani's. So then the tilak happened. Then when Hridoy Chaitanya, there is one lila, Hridoy Chaitanya and others, they were disturbed and angry. Why you change tilak? You have to wear the tilak which was given by Guru. You cannot change like this. That is like offense to Guru. Then he said, "What I can do?" Then he told the whole story to Jiva Goswami, and then Jiva Goswami confirmed, or maybe even someone appeared, Radharani or someone. A long time ago I heard this pastime, but the point was that first they did not accept, but after, when it was proved that it was Radharani's desire, then they accepted. So there is also one Diksha line coming from Shyamananda Prabhu. They are wearing that kind of tilak. Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Thakur and Shyamananda Prabhu primarily preached the message of Mahaprabhu through Kirtan. The styles that these three Acharyas used respectively were named Manohara Sahi, Garanahati and Reneti. They would enchant the listeners with their heartfelt singing of Kirtan. Unfortunately, these styles of Kirtan are no longer existent. They would enchant. Why? Because they were singing for the satisfaction of Krishna, these songs. So that awakened the devotion in other sleeping souls. But if I am not doing for the satisfaction of Krishna, but I am doing for enjoyment, like discotheque or for some enjoyment, then others will also want to join me, but for enjoyment. Though the name is chanted Hare Krishna Muhammad, there was full enjoyment. That is not devotion. Though the name is pure, but our abhidya is wrong. In these two cases we heard from Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Prabhupada. So that will not be spiritual. That you will not get. That will not give you spiritual result. Abhidya is wrong. I am doing for enjoyment and they are joining for enjoyment. So that is not real Nagar Sankirtan. It should be for the satisfaction of Krishna, for that is devotion. Then that can awaken Shraddha and devotion in others, otherwise not. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, you should not join that type of kirtan where it is namaparat, offenses to the name. Not that every kirtan is automatically good. He said there must be someone who is doing for the service of Krishna. He has to lead the kirtan. Not that just anyone can lead kirtan. There is, if offenses there, then you cannot join that kirtan. As a result of Shyamananda Prabhu's preaching in Orissa, many Muslims also became his disciples. The most important of his innumerable disciples was Rasika Murari or Rasikananda. Rasikananda was the son of Achyutananda, the zamindar of Rohini village. He had another name Murari and was thus most commonly known as Rasika Murari. He was a very powerful preacher and his fame is still widespread throughout the villages of Orissa. A list of some of Shyamananda Prabhu's prominent disciples is given in the Bhakti Ratnakara. We also heard our Baladev Vidyabhushan is in the Diksha line of Shyamananda Prabhu and Rasikananda, and then Nayanananda and Radha Damodar Goswami, then Baladev Vidyabhushan initiated. But when he came to Vrindavan, he was studying under Pitambar Das and also under Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So both is there, Diksha and Shiksha. Shyamananda made disciples all over the place. A person can be purified by hearing their names: Radha Ananda, Purushottam, Manohar, Chintamani, Balabhadra, Jagadishwar, Uddhava, Akrura, Madhuvan, Govinda, Jagannath, Gadadhar, Anandananda, and Radha Mohan. Shyamananda was constantly immersed in the joys of Kirtan in the association of these disciples. Poets have described his wonderful pastimes for the pleasure of everyone. Like Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. He got Diksha in Advaita line. But when he came to Vrindavan, he took Babaji Vesh from Bhagavat Das Babaji, who got Babaji Vesh from Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So that is also there. But Gorkishore Das Babaji, later when he came to Navadip, he was coming to Bhaktivinoda Thakur for hearing Bhagavatam. So all these gurus are there. Not only Diksha Guru and Diksha Mantra is the most important. Some, they give maximum importance only on Diksha Mantra. Because they find there, that Jiva Goswami wrote, there is a special relationship with Krishna there inside. And the Swarup of Krishna is there. So they say that is the indication of Siddha Pranali. Guru has to give Siddha Pranali at the time of Diksha. Otherwise it is not, no value, not all useless. But that is not correct understanding according to Jiva Goswami. If you read properly what he wrote in Shravan Bhakti, in Kirtan Bhakti, and which this is in Archan Bhakti, and whether this is absolutely necessary or not, or all this, everything is there. But they are giving that importance. That is why they also cannot understand other style of Guru Parampara. Though Baladev Vidyabhushan and Kavi Karnapur also gave that style of Guru Parampara by spiritual connection. Even they are not giving importance on Harinam so much. They say yes, Harinam is okay, but you must get Diksha, then that Harinam will be okay, otherwise not. But that is not correct. According to Jiva Goswami, it is not correct. Harinam is also non-different from Krishna. And you have to cultivate it. Jiva Goswami said there, you have to hear him, Harinam, from bona fide Guru, and then you have to chant without offenses, and then everything will be revealed. And Jiva Goswami himself told, Nam will give prema, no need of Diksha. He himself, but Diksha is necessary for that purpose. But they are not properly understanding, so they do their own thing and they criticize Prabhupada. That is wrong. Unfortunate, misfortune. In future they will have to rectify that if they are committing offense. How then Haridas Thakur, he never took Diksha, mantra Diksha, only Harinam. How he can be pure devotee, and he initiated that, like Shahiran became pure devotee. They are not considering these things. In Harinam, Swarup is there. I mean, Swarup of Krishna. And your Swarup in relation to Krishna also is there. When Krishna is revealed, then he reveals everything. Who are you in relation to him? That will also be revealed. But they are only giving importance Diksha mantra Siddhaprana. That if not this, then everything is useless. Another of Shyamananda Prabhu's notable disciple was a yogi named Damodar, whom he converted to Vaishnavism. Narahari Chakravarti has written the following account of that conversion. Shyamananda mercifully flooded the yoga practitioner named Damodar with devotional rasa. After becoming his disciple, Damodar constantly cried and chanted the names of Nitai Chaitanya. He was worshipping Paramatma, this yogi, but by coming in touch with pure devotee, he got his devotion awakened. Then he was crying and chanting, and he said, what could remain untouched by his ecstatic absorption? He danced, crying out, Bhakti is the best of all, because now from realization he got that higher taste. After delivering Damodar, Shyamananda continued to travel about, distributing the jewel of devotion to everyone. That is preaching. Why they are not criticizing Shyamananda Prabhu and Srinivasa Acharya and Nartan Thakur? They are all preachers. They were traveling, writing books, kirtan, preaching, initiating everything. Why they have to criticize Prabhupada for preaching? There is some reason. Shyamananda Prabhu, because they got some unfortunate experience with some devotees, so then they think that is not good. Then they start to criticize. Shyamananda Prabhu put on a large festival at Darenda with Rasika Murari and Damodar that is still remembered today by his descendants. When he left the world, Shyamananda Prabhu turned over the service of Sri Govinda at Gopi Ballapur to his dear disciple Rasikananda Dev Goswami. Shyamananda Prabhu's disciples and their descendants still worship his deity Radha Shyam Sundar in Vrindavan. This temple is still one of the principal pilgrimage sites in Vrindavan. Rasika Nanda Dev Goswami, he also preached so much in Orissa. Everyone knows him there. So that is, nothing is wrong with preaching, but must be pure preaching, and according to time, place, circumstance, you have to engage jivas for their upliftment. Jiva Goswami also did. He had one style for certain his disciples and another style for another disciples, because they were different adhikar. So everything is there. Shyamananda Prabhu lived the last part of his life in Rishingapur in Orissa, where he continued preaching Vaishnavism. His earthly pastimes came to an end on the first day of the waning moon in the month of Ashar in 1631. To preserve his holy memory, the branch of the Gauriya Math in Midnapur city was named Shyamananda Gauriya Math. Our Parangurudev, Srila Bhakti Kumud Shanta Gosai Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Gosai Maharaj, after Prabhupada's disappearance, they opened together that math, Shyamananda Gauriya Math, and in that math, our Gurudev got Harinam, Mahamantra initiation, on Janmashtami day. And he became ecstatic for 3 days, could not know what is day or night, or always in ecstasy, chanting, and did not know it is day or night. And then he knocked on the door of Gurudev, and Gurudev's 1 a.m. Then Gurudev came out, Parangurudev, and our Gurudev asked him, "What mantra you gave me? What is the strength of this mantra?" 3 days and nights, our Gurudev was in full ecstasy all the time by Harinam. Harinam is Hari. Dev Jiva Goswami also is saying the most important point in the mantra is the name of Hari. If you take that name out, then nothing is there. That name is important. Only there are some suffix that to give that relationship for surrender. But name is important. So this Mahamantra is invocative case. You are calling Krishna. That is also relationship. There is giving. And here is calling. So both is relationship, but they are not understanding. They are only in their own box, and they cannot understand due to lack of realization. Then they think only this is right. If it is not like this, then it is wrong. It is bogus, but it is not. By the fruit you can know. So today is Shyamananda Prabhu's disappearance day. In Vrindavan you will find Radha Shyam Sundar temple. There is one cave. You have to go down by the stairs. There is his deity together with Rasikananda Dev, and there is board, "Keep quiet, Shyamananda Prabhu and Rasikananda Prabhu in bhajan." So I am remembering his deity form there in his bhajan kutir, bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy, for the service of his lotus feet and the lotus feet of his object to worship, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ji ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी जी की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग शिष्य राधा मदन मोहन पंचदत्तात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग शिष्य राधा नयननाथ जी की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय पतित पावन शिला गुरुदेव की जय। जय शिल परम गुरुदेव की जय। जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवरे की जय। जय श्री पंचतत्व प्रभु की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंहदेव की जय। जय श्री शिल श्यामानंद प्रभु की जय। तदया तिरुवातिथि पूजा महामहोत्सव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर परमानंदे हरि ओम। थैंक यू ऑल। धन्यवाद। प्रणम। हरि बोल।